In winter 1974, a young Thaddeus Shyvana and his siblings are driven home by their dad. While playing with his enchanted 8-ball, Shyvana is mysteriously shipped to the Rock of Eternity, where he meets a wizard, who acquainted him with the otherworldly sculptures containing the spirits of the 7 deadly sins: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. The remainder of a board of 7, the wizard went through hundreds of years looking for another hero. Put to a test to check if he has a pure heart, Shyvana attempts to contact the Eye of Jealousy. Failing the test. Moved back to the vehicle, he creates a situation wherein his sibling hits him, and his dad to crash on ice, harmed. The enchanted 8-ball reads "Find me." A couple of years before present day, Billy is at a carnival with his mom, who starts to no end to get a tiger. A while later, Billy loses a pendant ball he has and chases after it. Separated from his mom. Lost, he is rescued by police who get him to an orphanage. In present-day Philadelphia, Billy bats and baits and traps cops into a pawn shop, involving their PC in order to look through the location of his tragically missing mother. Voyaging, he is disheartened. He is found and brought to a social administration specialist who puts him with the Vasquez family along with other siblings: Eugene, Darla, Pedro, Mary, and Freddie. In the place of business of Shyvana Industries, a lady enlightens a specialist concerning her experience and offers a video. Shyvana takes the video to his office where he had a task that followed individuals who had comparative sightings around the world, and the video empowered him to track down admittance to the wizard's nest. At the point when interrogated regarding it, Shyvana transforms the specialist into dust. He utilizes the images to get to the den, stands up to the wizard, and contacts the energy ball by Enzi, releasing the 7 deadly sins. They structure into a 9 sits at home and locks itself into his right eye. At school, while Billy is adjusting, the foster sibling shows him around the school area. At lunch, Freddie sits with Billy and talks to him in an attempt to get to know him better, annoying Billy in the process. Outside, the bullies hit Freddie with a car, knocking him down the ground. Billy stands up to them, then hits them with Freddie's strolling stick and runs into the train to keep away from them. While on the train, images show up and he enters the Rock of Eternity. The wizard uncovers he had recently given his to another person, however had turned evil and killed various individuals and delivered the 7 destructive sins. The wizard promised to look for somebody who has a pure heart, driving him to look for centuries. He picks Billy, who needs to say the word Shazam. Billy gives the signal, and changes into the hero Shazam, and the wizard vanishes. Shazam gets back to Philadelphia and gets back to the foster home and meets with Freddie, testing every one of the capacities: lightning, super speed, and strength. They stop an armed robbery in a store. On their way home, he discovers he reverts to his young form by saying Shazam. At Shyvana Businesses, Dr. Shyvana bursts into a corporate gathering facilitated by his sibling and father, who had lost his legs in the mishap from the night in 1974. A showdown between the kin brings about Shyvana tossing his sibling through at the window and flaunting the wrongdoings in his eyes, butchering everybody in the room, including his dad. Freddie and Billy are in school and skip classes when Billy poses as Shazam to check them out from the guard. Leaving, they get around to test fire immunity, flight, and strength. They stroll through a shopping center where they utilize the lightning skill to charge individuals' phones, get soft drinks free of charge, attempt to purchase a superhero lair from a real estate agent, and go to a strip club. He comes out and says they need more money. They go to an ATM, zapping it to get some of the money and using it to purchase merchandise. Following day at school, the domineering jerks start to play with Freddie and Billy again until Freddie tells them he knows the new hero Red Cyclone. They don't trust him, however he commits and lets them know that he'll inspire him to make an appearance to lunch tomorrow. Freddie and Billy get into somewhat of a contention over him simply accepting and attempting to involve Billy for his powers. That evening at dinner, the father asks the family on what they think of the new hero. Everyone gives their input and Freddie takes a dig at Shazam, and then him and Billy get into an argument, leaving the rest of the family confused. At school the following day, Billy chooses not to go to class since he needs to track down his mom. In spite of Freddie requesting lunch, Shazam does a bunch of things, taking selfies, and showing off his lightning powers for money. He sees Mary and saves her from being hit by a car, and talking to her makes him realize that she is upset because of college. She will have to leave her only family. Shazam accidentally reveals he knew her name and the housing situation, but then leaves. Freddy finds Shazam and tries to talk to him, yet Shazam tries to ignore it, shooting lightning and hits the tires of a bus across the city, sending it off the side of a bridge. Catching it, Shazam places it on the concrete, only to be promptly told that he's not using his powers right. Hearing the commotion, Dr. Shyvana shows up and demands the powers that Shazam possesses. Brushing him off, Shazam is promptly thrown around then lands through a mall, while discovering his ability to fly. Shyvana hunts him down, but Shazam transforms back into Billy and runs with the crowd. Freddy is there and was taken hostage by Shyvana, who demands to be taken to Billy. At home, Billy's foster siblings figure out that he was human power storm while watching the news. While at his room, Eugene told Billy that her mom is only 2 subway stops away. Billy rushes outside of the house, with his foster parents in tow. Back at the house, Shyvana shows up with Freddy then traps the children. Billy arrives at his mom's apartment complex. His mom informs Billy that he was intentionally abandoned by her that day, and saw him with the police and that he would be better cared for by others since she was only 17. Billy was emotional and quietly reassures his mother that he will be fine, but he has to return back to his real family. With a comment mixed with regret, Billy gives his mother the keychain compass she gave him years ago, understanding and told her that, "You might need it more than me." Leaving, he receives a call and Shyvana tells him to come home. Billy jumps off the apartment rooftop and transforms to Shazam then flies home. Shazam arrives, and confronts Shyvana but chooses to give up the power to save his family. Shyvana opens the magical door to the Rock of Eternity. Taking the wizard's staff, Shyvana unleashes the 7 deadly sins. The siblings enter the cave then distract Shyvana long enough for them to run and exit into a strip club. The group went to a carnival to hide, then Shyvana noticed and attacked, blasting the Ferris wheel to be confronted by Shazam. Around the carnival, Shyvana and Shazam battle it out. After getting a hold of the wizard's staff, Shazam realizes that there are other champions, so he and his siblings hold the staff and yell his name, transmitting his powers to each member of the family. They transform into grown-up superheroes, each one fighting one sin. While discovering their newfound abilities, Shazam and Shyvana engages their final battle while flying through the skyscrapers. As the Ferris wheel goes to tip over, Freddy saves the last 2 bullies from their school. Shazam was thrown on the rooftop by Shyvana. He realized that the remaining sin was envy and makes fun of it, then it trips itself out from Shyvana's eye. Pinned down by envy, Shazam yells Shazam, hurting it. Shyvana is knocked off the roof, now is immortal. Shazam drags him to the carnival, ripping the magical eye out from him. Winning and saving the day, the Shazam family waves at the cheering crowd, takes the eye back to the cave, and return the sins back where they belong. Shazam and Freddy decide that the cave is their lair. Back at the Vasquez home, everyone returned to their younger form and are watching a newscast from Carnival Incident, with Santa Claus describing the whole event. Billy finally feels happy and content with his newfound family. Back at school while lunchtime, Freddy sits down and the entire table leaves. The bullies shows up then ask if he's still friends with the Red Cyclone, then all his siblings comes and sit next to him. Shazam suddenly shows up and tells the whole school how Freddy taught him on how to be a real hero and that he also brought another friend, Superman. Thanks for watching Movie Archives. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Comment and suggest your favorite movies and hopefully we can feature it soon. See you again next time. Peace.